And that kid's crying. He's like, first I was crying because that guy had a gun in my face, but now I'm crying because what you doing?
Stop it.
He's crying for the carjacker.
Yeah.
Don't kill him.
He's already dead.
He's a human being too.
He's yelling for help from Jack Reacher.
Help! He's crazy. Help!
Double Toasted live in Los Angeles is going to be Saturday, April 27th for a night of comedy games and that after party. This weekend was a good weekend to be a Jack Reacher fan. Yes, the world's most badass hobo returns again. That's what he is, this big ass homeless guy.
Yeah.
He says, I ain't got no home. If you don't like it, I'll beat the shit out of you. I'll take you home if I want to. But, this is a man who goes around, classic hero, just goes around looking for adventures to get in, which usually involves finding bad guys, beating the shit out of them, out killing them, and bringing justice to those who need it.
Sure. And as all good heroes, he's a reluctant hero. He's not looking for trouble, but if it comes close to him, he's right there in it.
He is. That's why he ain't got no home. Because if he had a home, he wouldn't be able to find him much trouble to get into it. He just walks the earth.
Walks the earth like Cain.
Yeah, walks the earth, just looking for shit to get into. He ain't fooling nobody. Oh man, I just want peace. Nah.
I want to break a piece off of you.
Yeah, he does. I ain't buying that bullshit with him. It's a good thing he is out there because there are a lot of bad guys out there who are taking advantage of a lot of good people, and you need a person like Jack Reacher out there. But did we need a season 2? Well, the first season was very well received. In fact, I think that was one of Amazon's, or the only show that Amazon had that premiered or topped the Nielsen ratings.
Oh, is that right?
They track that way? Yeah. So it was very successful for them. So yeah, they're coming back with
one of my
2.
favorite TV shows.
So did you get to watch any of this?
I watched 5 episodes. In fact,
Damn,
if I
nice.
knew it was going to start at 6, I would have been able to squeeze in another one.
Nice. You got me beat. I was only able to watch 4 because I had to watch another movie today. But I did enjoy the first season. Even though I had some small problems with it, overall, still had a lot of fun. What about this season right here? Did I enjoy more, and did they do anything different to make it that way? Or did they do anything different to make me like it less? Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Reacher Season 2.
They were tortured. They dumped them from a helicopter. And they're coming after us. Good.
See, looking for trouble. I'm glad they killed my friend. I got to deal with me.
Now I got something to do.
Oh, goody. You say he's dead? Oh, no. That's too bad.
Why'd you gotta hit him so hard?
I don't have a house.
If this dude had a house, he'd pick up that whole house and beat the shit out of somebody with.
He stuffed that cinder block like it was nothing.
Like nothing. Like he was playing fetch with his dog or something. Go get it.
We prepared.
It's like the good old days.
Yeah, you on the sidelines while I do all the work.
I'm sorry.
What'd you say? I ain't say nothing. You ain't let me finish.
You want so goddamn big, I'll say some shit. But I ain't gonna say nothing. So the shut my mouth.
He's a boss and bosses give orders.
Your man really did want to say something right here, didn't he? I'll say something, but I think the look says it all. I'm just going to stare at you disapprovingly. So I am going to start out. I don't want to start out negative, but I will say, I'm going to start out with this. Oh, you know what? Let me start out by telling you what's going on here. So you can tell from the trailer what's happening. But Jack Reacher has returned because he is investigating the deaths and disappearances of former members of his unit, the 110th. And it all starts out with him hearing about one of his friends being dumped from a helicopter into a field somewhere. And turns out a couple other people are not around. So, of course, his dedication and his loyalty to his friends, his unit, and also just his need to beat the shit out of people, gets him back out there. And I don't think this is great. I will say that. Let me just start out with some just little personal criticisms right here. So one of the things that is going on here with Reacher is that I just stopped feeling that there was any consequences for Jack Reacher. He's gonna win no matter what.
Yeah. Reacher's gonna Reacher.
Yeah, no, Jack Reacher's always gonna win a fight, man. No matter what, no matter how many people. At this point, he might as well be a Marvel character because 20 guys can show up. 20 guys with guns can show up, and he's not gonna beat the shit out of them. He's gonna kill all of them. Easy.
He's gonna talk shit. He's gonna tell them, "You're not leaving here tonight alive."
Yeah, he tells him, "I'm gonna kill you," and I'm watching. I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Let's get it over with.
I know. Yeah, I mean, this is a man who's super powered. Make it like he can stump a car, make the airbag come out.
That was pretty funny.
No, it was, and I think that he's meant to be written as superhuman in a way. So I'm not really complaining that hard. I'm just saying that I don't. Whenever guys come around,
it takes the suspense out of it.
It does. There's no suspense in it at all.
So you wouldn't say that it's really grounded in reality? Because that's one of the things I was going to ask.
No, not at all. And look, they know that. So don't let me try to even pretend like I'm looking for realism here. They know this. But, when you watching them, it's also the writing in it too, because this man he's going to fight his way out of any situation. But also when they do show up with guns, they have really convenient excuses for how the guns need to go. The guns are always being taken from them, or, the bad guys are like, where's my, oh shit, I left in the cars, So it's just, there's like you said, there's no suspense with that at all. No surprises at all. This is a man that can punch through walls if he wanted to, with no damage to his hand whatsoever. Furthermore, his team is about as bad as he is, man. They are the Avengers when they get together. All these people, man.
That's what I was thinking when they were sitting at the diner.
Yeah. Oh, when you saw them all beat up and everything?
Yeah, I was like, you guys eating shawarma?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All of them. You see, they all got their ass beat right there. And I can tell you, that's nothing compared to what they did to everybody else. And the women, they make Jack Reacher to be this super powered, superhuman guy. But the women, when they start fighting shit, they got strength like him. They be beating the fuck out of these guys like they're Jack Reacher, man.
It kind of comes off like, I haven't seen any of it, but it kind of comes off like an Avengers, Fast and the Furious type of melding.
It's Fast and Furious light.
It's more like the family vibe.
Yeah, like they do things that no human being is going to be able to do. Okay, so that's you go in knowing that. And
pulling helicopters out of the sky.
Yeah. Well, I can take that. It's just the physical stuff is a lot of times what gets to me. I will also say it's a little bit repetitive. Every scene after they get through fighting, every scene ends with them with all the people they murdered on the ground, and they all end with like, anybody thirsty? Let's go get a drink. Or his big ass, I'm hungry. And they have no feelings anymore. They're a bunch of sociopaths at this point.
Really are. Like, okay, I know you guys are the 110th, and you were special investigators and all. And Reacher, we established from the first movie that he's a sociopath. He murders. At times where he can knock people out or just subdue them, he goes for the murder and has no compunction about it and doesn't give another thought.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at him. You can look at him. He loves this.
Because that was one right there. I was like, all right, you get this guy unconscious, you can take him and interrogate him. He's like, well, he's dead. So I was like, well, shit.
And even later, he was like, shit, I shouldn't have killed that guy. Oops.
Yeah, but once he gets that bloodlust, it's like, well, ain't nothing you can do.
No, he's a murderer, man. He loves to kill.
He's like Brock Sampson.
If they made a Venture Brothers movie, this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, after a while with the rest of the team, they're like, hey, those people, they shouldn't have been messing with us.
No, and listen, those guys that they killed were really bad people. They were murderers. Yeah. So that's the only thing I have to say. But it's disturbing sometimes. It's like, man, y'all taking too much pleasure in this.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all done this way too much. Also, I think the dialogue and the acting is kind of cheesy sometimes. And that can be justified, which I'll talk about in a little bit about both those things, the acting and the dialogue. But like, they have this scene, like the scene with the carjacker. Mm-hmm. These villains are almost cartoonish because the carjacker's in the car with a kid. And he's like, yeah, your mom better hurry up or it's going to be bad for both of you. You hear me? Yeah. Like, I got the scene right here.
You've been carjacked, right? Stay here. This This won't take long.
Well, it was, man, how lucky is that Jack Reacher just happened to be there with Stephen Carjack. Woo, what a good day for this woman.
Your mom better hurry the fuck up, kid, or this is gonna go bad for both of you.
He pulls the kid out. You little midget.
And that kid's crying. He's like, first I was crying because that guy had a gun in my face, but now I'm crying because what you doing?
Stop it. He's crying for the carjacker.
Yeah.
Don't kill him.
He's already dead.
He's a human being too. he's yelling for help from Jack Reacher. Help! He's crazy. Help!
And it's the first action scene in the whole series.
True.
I mean, in the second season anyway.
There's also people who, some of the dying is kind of cheesy. Like there's people who die with that blank look where they, they get stabbed and like, they get that stare and they just fall over. And I was like, all right, this is...
Man, what if you get stabbed one day and you go like, oh shit, that really is how you do it?
Why can't I stop staring at the wall? Well, also, it's one of those things where people get a wound and it's a wound that would not kill somebody that fast in real life, but they're just like, and they show them dropping to the floor. And I was like, all right, it's kind of ridiculous. It's silly. Like I said, it's cheesy. But while I had a problem with some of those things, I still liked it. And I'll tell you why. It's because while I'm not enthusiastic about some of those things that we were looking at here and we're just straight out laughing at them, the show has been described as pulpy.
Yeah.
And when you look at it that way, you can accept it that way.
What I can say is it is still like the things you're complaining about, it still improves on what it is in the books.
Really?
Yeah, because in the books, Jack Reacher, he's just superhuman. Like watching him do stuff here like that, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of like a Tuesday for Jack Reacher in the books. That's none of this is outside the realm of what he does. In the books, Jack Reacher does all these things and has this way of thinking that just kind of, it's like, well, if he's doing this because it's the most efficient, he's the coolest. Here in this series, his team, they're constantly like calling him out on shit. Like, you living like a hobo and you don't have nothing and you lonely and the shit you're saying is kind of crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, they listen, that's one of the things I liked about it too, because when it's pulpy like this, I can take it. And you heard that Dadsploitation. You got that from NPR, right? Because I heard that review.
No, I heard somebody else say it, but
yeah, it was a review on NPR where they described it as Dadsploitation. They said, we don't even mean that as an insult.
Yeah.
And I took note of that because when I heard that, I was like, that's exactly what it is. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. And they know this. It's like this whole thing has a sly sense of humor about it. There's a Terminator joke in here. And I was like, y'all ain't taking this seriously.
I know.
Come on, y'all playing.
Yeah.
But mainly the reason why I like this is, and this is one of the reasons why I like the first one. It's because of the character of Jack Reacher and the way Alan Ritchson plays him, who's the actor right here. Mm-hmm. Again, first of all, I hate to keep bringing this up, but he ain't getting out of this. Everybody's still talking about, we just happy to have an actual
big dude.
We just happy to have a man.
Yeah.
Not a little boy.
Not this boy over here, not this running boy right here. Because the more, man, it's almost like Tom Cruise should have never done this.
I know.
Because the more years go on, the more they keep making these Jack Reachers, the worse he gets talked about.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Everybody keeps bringing up how, what was he thinking?
I mean, I thought he worked for the first one, but he just didn't have that size and that big size and his ability to do things that a normal person can't do are a big part of the stories.
See, when I knew nothing about Jack Reacher when Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher came out, and I wasn't buying half this bullshit he was doing. I was like, I just don't see him being that trained and being that much of a badass. In Mission Impossible, for some reason, yeah. But when he's supposed to be like some rough and tumble brawler, I was like, I ain't buying this shit. And you were the one that told me like, yeah, because he's supposed to be 6'5", 300 pounds. Like, What's he thinking trying to do this? Like, I got horned by this.
I know.
And so now people just like, damn, we just happy to have a man play this role right here. Not that I have no disrespect to Tom
not
Cruise.
a man, a giant.
A giant, yeah.
Paul Bunyan, they called him.
They should did. I'm surprised he let that man live.
Well, I love how even with this second season, they are constantly laughing at him about how big he is.
Oh, constantly, yeah. Yeah, they
called him a kaiju.
Did they call? I didn't get that part.
Oh yeah, maybe it was one of the later episodes. They're like, yeah, we got 3 vets and a kaiju.
Yeah, they called him. They call him. I always make them think. They say when they go to get a hotel room, they say, "Hey, look, if you're not comfortable, we can bring a park bitch in for you." Yeah, they call him Paul Bunyan.
Yeah. Well, if I had a car, then I have to buy a house to put it in and a bunch of stuff to fill it with. It's like, okay, Jack, never mind, forget it.
Just stop, man. There's people who really think that he's mentally challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
want to use the R word on his ass.
No. That's one of the things I've enjoyed about this whole series is like, unlike the books where, like I said, they always make it look like everything he does is cool.
Yeah.
Here you go like, nah, he's got some mental issues.
No, he's crazy. But it's funny though, because he's crazy, but that's probably why this character works, because I think people appreciate that he's a brawler. Yeah. They expect that out of him. But he's more than that this season. This season shows even more of his investigator side. Mm-hmm. They actually show how smart he is.
Yeah.
For all I know, this man might be autistic or something.
I'm almost sure.
That's what I know. You know what?
Yeah, because with the first season, it's like, yeah, I think he's autistic. He's on the spectrum.
When we reviewed the first season, I said, yeah, he's on the spectrum, man. Because there were moments where he would just stare at people. Mm-hmm. You got to do something. Because he would do things like wander in people's yards.
Yeah, when he's walking down the street like a robot.
Yeah, he would just walking, staring, and he see somebody's dog, and then he beat the out of that person with that dog. Like, you ain't give your dog water. Like, man, what are you doing in my yard? No. He just does shit, man. So I think, yeah, this dude's on the spectrum, man.
But hey, it works for him.
It does.
It's like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Plus, like I said, man, there's no way y'all can look at certain scenes like this and think like he's not getting off on this, because there are scenes where he could beat the shit out of people. And when he gets tired of beating the shit out of people, he finds other creative ways to beat them down.
Get the fuck out of here before I decide to get out my couch, man.
Like, oh yeah, that's my cue. They pushed that poor crackhead. I must avenge. See, he's like, I get tired of using my hands. So I'm just gonna beat the shit out of people with a car.
So does he live in his car?
He don't have a car.
That's not his car.
Oh, of course. Duh.
Yeah, of course. He stole someone's car or something, but I had somebody rent it for him. Mm-hmm. But I think you hit it on something, Martin. I do think that it helps that he's back with his old unit, because not only are they as badass as he is, but it's fun to watch their camaraderie. Finally has people who can talk shit back to him without getting their ass beat. Mm-hmm. And he knows. I mean, he knows that, right? And all of them have their own personalities too. I mean, when you watch this, it's nothing too original. I mean, you got like the smart ass, you got Miss Sassy, you got the love interest. That's an actual personality now, apparently. Mm-hmm. One of them's pretty much just a live action figure, because he comes with his own weapon.
Yeah.
So you're still using brass knuckles? No more switchblade?
Look down.
See, now anybody else be dead. You're like, I'll let you get away with that. Yeah, he has one of his guys has a what's his name, Donaldson or something. Uses a switchblade. They all have their own specialty.
It's funny that you say the action figure, because when they're together, I thought it reminded me of when I was a kid and I had Big Jim and he had a wolf pack.
Yeah.
One guy had a whip and the other one was a Native American with a bow and arrow.
Oh yeah. No, they all, man. They're G.I. Joe. Mm-hmm. In a way, they are a bunch of cartoon characters when you get right down to it. But it's fun, watching them interact with each other, seeing how they all have their own little quirks, and again, nothing that's not out of the ordinary. It's very typical, but it's still fun to watch them be together. And sometimes what I did like about it, as obvious as some of these personality traits are, sometimes they they put in little visual jokes and little details about their personalities that are running gag, and they never say anything about it. It's up for you to see it. If you watch it, I'll just say this: look for the girl who has this love for a certain breakfast food. I don't know if you saw this.
I didn't really notice it, but
yeah, it's. And chances are you might not notice it because they don't mention it, but I saw it and it's everywhere once you see it. And I was like, you know what? That's actually kind of clever that they don't say anything about this at all. Yeah. But once you see it, you're going to see it on everything that she has. Listen, there's also nostalgia here. And this is where I was going to talk about dadsploitation. Because that's where I heard it. I heard it from an NPR review of this. They talked about his dadsploitation, where this is the kind of stuff that dads love to watch. You know, it's a fantasy for middle-aged man out there. You know, and it's just because it's just raw and basic.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's that you know, action movie stuff. What we used to get a lot of in the 80s and the 90s.
And with shows too.
Yeah, with shows too. And Reacher is that guy where, you know, he's righting wrongs and it's you know, meting out justice to the bad guys.
Yeah.
With extreme prejudice.
See,
he ain't messing around. That's one thing about it.
And see, when they said that this was dadsploitation, I was like, damn, y'all are right, because this is the kind of shit I would watch with my dad. My dad didn't want to deal with no bullshit. He just wanted the basic handout of justice, man.
Yeah.
You know, he liked watching shows where it was like a dude going around, or a couple of dudes, our team, and all they were doing, they were either arresting, beating the shit out of, or killing people. All of the above.
Yeah.
You know, and usually it was a cop, but points if you were a vigilante.
Sure.
You know, man, listen, this is kind of like, it's like almost an edgier, cooler version of something like Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
You know, it's because that show, it ain't nothing but about going around. It's black and white. The good guys are good, the bad guys are bad. There's no gray with Jack Reacher, man, our Reacher. You know, these guys are bad and they deserve to die in the horrible ways that Jack Reacher decides to dish it out. And it's some bad ways.
Yeah, there is no feeling sorry for people. And even the cops are like, hey man, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
You telling me I can't do it? I would tell you, but you're gonna do it anyway.
And it's, you know, and everybody loves watching dudes be dudes, even now that the dudes are replaced by girls, or women. You know, that was the other thing. It was just it was something where you watch these guys. They were man's man, and and either they were out there stopping trouble, or occasionally they weren't afraid to start it. You know, especially where it needed to be started. Like they have these flashback scenes with Reacher and his unit. And what's funny about this is that these back scenes or these backstory scenes, they show you just Reacher's kind of an asshole.
Yes.
Very much so. That's why I said,
he starts trouble.
Oh yeah, that's why I said this guy ain't going around, you know, trying to look for justice and help people. Like, he wants to start shit. I mean, like I said, no realism at all, because this is the kind of movie where, look, I can understand a bar brawl, but you go to like what did they call that? If you're in the military,
The officers club?
The officers club. Yeah, you go to the officers club. Look, you can't go to the officers club and treat it like some bar that's out in civilian world. You know, like that country bar you go to start shit. He goes to the officers club to start shit with the officers. He said, well, you know what? That's team building.
You're not supposed to be drinking in uniform. It's an officers club. No enlisted.
How about I just finish my beer and I'll be on my way, okay, sir?
How about you be quiet? You're adults talking.
Let's see.
Now it's either she leaves.
See, she tried to like mend this and just let it go.
Yeah. And by the way, they would not handle this shit. They would call somebody to escort them out or something.
Yeah, Jack Reacher was talking like a cult leader there or something.
Yeah.
He's like, you messing with my people?
Yeah, exactly. You're in the army.
We got 12.
You're at least 3 short.
All of them being the brig, demoted.
Listen, Corey, unlike yourself, I've never been in the military, so this seems completely realistic to me.
Well, I wish you would go to a base and try this shit. See how that happen. This shit would not happen at all. These fools would be in jail. some of these people be dishonorary discharged. In fact, officers would not behave like this, man. They would say, please, can you escort yourself out?
They don't get territorial about.
They treat this shit like it's damn the club. You know, not the office club, but the club. Like 50 Cent's club. Right. You know? They ain't gonna do this shit like this. And officers ain't gonna be like, we got 12 men, we ready to whoop your ass. No, they wouldn't do that shit. But the point is, this is what makes it exploitation, because it's all about tough talk.
Yeah.
It's all about, being a man, no matter what what situation you're in, no matter how unrealistic it is, talk shit.
He sounded like a roided out Bobby Boucher. My mama always said.
Always beat the shit out of people like you. All right. Your mama didn't tell you this shit. Your mom said stand up for yourself. She didn't say start shit where you go.
But yeah, there's a bunch of things. It bothered me ever so often how unrealistic it was. Like at one point they blow up a house.
I think
on an empty street. Oh, well, maybe that's later, but they blow up a house. And like you don't see lights coming on the street. And or you don't hear sirens for a long time. They blow up the house, there's a shootout, and they go like, oh, you better get out of here because somebody probably called the cops.
Someone coming out in a bathrobe to get their newspaper. Oh, something going on out here?
Yeah, there you go. Kaboom.
Jeez.
Y'all hear something? Go back to bed, Mabel. But, man, they got it. But listen, I want to know what's happening, no matter how silly it is. Like, they got a guy going around cutting people and handing comic books out to kids.
What? Yeah, he's a classic comic book villain.
Yeah,
that's why I think it's funny he's handing out comic books. And I'm like, you know why I like comic books? And I'm like, yeah, because you think you're in one.
Yeah, because you think you goddamn Dr. Doom and shit. But he goes around, I was like, and this guy's racking up bodies and nobody's, like, he goes to the airport all the time. Like, nobody's checking your thumbprints, your fingerprints. He just gliding through. And it's like, all this shit is unrealistic, man.
Yeah.
There's no way that these people be able to do not even half the shit that they're doing. Most of the shit they're doing in this, they would not be able to do it. But, it depends. Listen, a lot of people like that. And it's for that audience that wants that kind of thing. You're just looking for a tough guy show, this is it. If you're looking for realism, then okay, it's not it. And I understand why it would not be. Like I said, I enjoyed it, but I think I understood. It's still like
that cinder block is crazy.
I still look at that. You can't look at that without reacting. But I understand this is not for everybody, and it is very silly. So it's something where I believe that it knows what its tone is. Like I said, very pulpy. It knows that it's even silly sometimes if you look for the humor that's in here, and it knows who its audience is. And if you're not within any of those, if you're not checking off in those boxes for yourself, then yeah, it's totally ridiculous and it's not for you. It's stretched it for me, but I did enjoy it. I would give it a matinee. And I tell you, mainly because I still like this character. He really is
Yeah,
he really is a homeless Batman without the suit and everything, because he beats ass and he's a great detective.
Yeah. No, you're right about both those things. Even before I knew we were going to do this, I saw that it had dropped on Amazon, and I watched the first episode because I was a huge fan.
And the action is really good.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of the first season. I probably rewatched that first season 3 times because I just enjoyed it so much. And I watched the first episode of this, and just right off the bat, I was like, it's not like this is bad, but it's just not hitting like that first episode. I mean, that first season. It's just certain elements that aren't there. I thought, like I said, the characters weren't as sharp and all the stuff I really enjoyed. But I thought, it's okay. I'll come back to it later. Yeah. So you said we're going to review it. I'll go like, let me pop it in and watch some more episodes. And yeah, with the thing with the team, bringing in the team and the flashbacks, I personally felt like, that's more of a third season kind of thing. And what they were doing with the team, there was nothing special about them. They seemed kind of cliche. Mm-hmm. But by the third episode, I kind of warmed up to them. I guess I got their rhythm, and they brought in the other member, the love interest.
Yeah.
And then from that point, I was like, all right, this is all gelling a lot better or a lot more. And I'm interested in the team. And while I don't think this measures up to the first season, I had to admit that I got into the story, the plot of it all. I'm traveling along with them. I'm enjoying it. I could have stopped at the 4th episode like you did, but I was like, well, now I'm on the ride. Now I want to see what happens.
I want to see what happens too. I want to know what Knife Dude is doing.
Yeah. And now I'm kind of feeling like, and it's too hard to say when I haven't reached the end, but I almost feel like maybe it's too many episodes. Like 6 might have been better than 8. But like I said, it's enjoyable. It's a fun ride.
No, it is. The action's good. It's a fun show if you take it within the spirit that it's intended. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm talking about because I don't even think the editing is good on the action, but when he hits, shit. Most of the time I'm like, God damn, you ain't got to hit me like that. I feel it.
It's almost that John Wick effect where with John Wick it was like, oh, who did this John Wick? Oh shit. And then with him, it's one of those when he's like, all right, well, you're gonna die, and I'm gonna take out all the rest of them. You're like, oh shit, he means it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think, but he never says that when it's not true.
It's not a matter of being predictable that he's gonna kill everybody. We know that. It's how he's gonna do it. Yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing.
That's funny. Okay, so you see that picture of him there.
Yeah.
In the Reacher books, somebody's like, man, I know you need your time to work out, and he'll say, oh no, I never work out.
Bullshit.
He's like, this is just all genetic.
See, he is a superhuman.
Yeah. And you're like, come on, man.
No. And look, that's one of the things I wonder with this. Like, how does this homeless man find time to go work out like this?
I mean, I guess as he's on the road, he's waiting for somebody to pick him up. He's just down there doing push-ups.
Push-ups don't do that. All right? I'll tell you that right now. And he eats like trash too. Yeah, he eats everything. And shit, I remember
he got to go to a casino buffet. He try to put them out of business.
Oh hell yeah! That woman like, damn. And he's like, I'm just getting started. Oh yeah, he looks good, but you don't want to be in the room. He takes a shit. Shit, his turds got muscles, man.
What rating would you give it, Marty?
Oh, I'd give it a matinee also.
Yeah.